Okie dokie. So the stream looks good. Yesterday was just a test stream just to make sure everything was okay, so I'm just gonna wait for it just to sort of boot itself up a second and make sure everything's right now. Yeah. Just making sure. Okie dokie. Okay, so okay. I keep saying okay. I'm just trying to make sure everything's running and good. All right, so here we are in the we're in the 777 flight deck today, flying down to the beautiful Seychelles today for a flight. So we're going down. Well, you can sort of say it's down like southwest, maybe something like that. So yeah, what we're going to do is just set the parking rate. We're currently in the cold and dark position. As you can see, all the screens are black, so it's what's called cold and dark, obviously. Most of you simmers will know that, but in Abu Dhabi, I don't think there's any such thing as cold and dark. It's more, yeah, I agree with the dark side, yeah, maybe, but bloody cold. It's definitely not cold here. Okay, so we can set the auto brake just to RTO. I just like to click that as well. What we can also do is, a lot of people used to wonder, and I used to always wonder, in cold and dark, how do you get like ground power? I used to always have to set the APU, wait for the APU to boot on, and then wait for the FMCs to boot on, and then connect the ground power and take the APU off. But now, it makes it easier just by holding the menu button on the PMDG 777, then I can just go on ground connections, wheel chuck set. Dual jetway, we can have a bit of the aircon unit as well, and we have ground power 2 plugs, which is better than 1. Ground secondary power is just for other systems that are not very as important as the primary exit power uses. Anyways, okay, so what we can do now is we can have a look on the overhead panel, and we're just going to do like a little overhead panel tutorial on how I take that off. How I just start the APU. So it says we've got primary and secondary exit power available, so what we're going to do is we're going to turn them both on, and they're both going to be on, and then what we're going to do is we are going to turn on the battery, which is very important, and we've got to make sure all IFE pass seats and cabin utilities are both on. Make sure the APU gen's on, which is important because obviously you won't be able to turn on the APU, the generator won't work, the APU won't work, so yeah. The L bus ties and the right bus ties are both on. We've got all the backup gens on and the left gen controls on, everything like that. This at the moment up to here is perfect. We can also turn the ADR on. So now this bit is pretty much done for the moment. So what we can do is move on to this panel. So we've got all the window heats are all on, even though you won't need it on the ground at like 40 degrees, but yeah. We have emergency lights armed. Set it off, since phone. I always turn it on. People say to leave it off, but I don't know. I just turn it on, just to make sure. It's better than having it off, innit? Okay, so we've got passenger oxygen is just stationary. Ground proximity runway override is stationary. That looks all good. In these little sort of glass encased buttons, these are all fine. Normally in the cold and dark position, they're normally all good. They're left in a normal position. The window heaters are all good. Ram air turbines is good. It's just stationary, packed away. Hopefully we'll not need that. Hydraulics, we've got the prim pumps, right engine, left engine, they stay on. All demand pumps off, and C1, C2 are like off as well. You've got to hear that sound of the seatbelt signs as well, and we can turn the no smoking signs on as well. We don't want people to smoke, so yeah. Normally now in modern aircraft, people are getting so used to the no smoking rule, like ages ago, they used to have to keep the no smoking signs on because people obviously still wasn't aware that some aircrafts were non-smoking now. So what they do is they've completely got rid of in the new Airbus. They've completely got rid of the no smoking signs. I mean, different airlines obviously it might be their own customer specific, but you know. Now they have no electronic signs instead of sort of replaced it with the no smoking signs, which is pretty interesting. Normally it's just like obviously over airlines it's customer specific. Obviously the anti-ice all stay on auto, which is really good, so you don't have to worry about anything. It's very automated aircraft, the 777, which is good. But obviously it's got that feel of hands-on flying with Boeing as well, so it's a really nice aircraft. It's got that perfect in between with actually getting a feel for the aircraft. It's not like where Airbus is more. It's like 70% automation, maybe more. I'd expect it to be more anyway. Where the Boeing it's a bit less, so it's a bit better. Okay, so they have a wing, left engine, right engine, all on auto. This section, the passenger side and anti-ice is good. We can turn on the navigation lights. We'll just turn the wing lights on anyway. We don't. Oh, it won't let me click it then. We don't really need the logo and beacon lights on at the moment because obviously we're not pushing back and we are not satting darkness. So yeah. Local time is 17:35 and we're taking off at 18:10, so yeah, we need to get everything done really quickly. What we can do is, if you have a look outside at this beautiful Abu Dhabi scenery, there you go, in the day you can see it looks absolutely amazing. So yeah, it's a really warm day today over in Abu Dhabi, so yeah, it's really good. So as you can see, 38 degrees is 38 degrees we normally use. That's our total air temperature, so we just leave it. Yeah, it's 38 degrees. I normally, it depends on your flight plan. You normally use a static air temperature. You normally go off on that on your flight plan, but the total air temperature is just the weather literally on the ground. So yeah. Total air temperature 38 degrees today, yeah, and it's 5 o'clock, so it's nearly getting on the evening time, and it's that hot. Oh my god. Okie dokie. What else can we do? Pressurization panel. I always can't say that. Pressurization. Yeah, pressurization panel is good. They have the forward and aft and auto, which is good as well. The left pack, the air conditioning unit, it's different in the freighter version. It's totally like the whole panel is different. It's pretty interesting. When I was flying the freighter version, I was so used to the passenger version, and then when I actually switched to the freighter, when I switched to the freighter version, I was like, oh my god, this air conditioning is totally different. I don't know how to work it. But now I've got used to them both. So we can turn the packs on. Oh, why is it not doing it? Trimmer on. We can have the bleed on. We can also have left, center, and right on. APU on. Right engine, left engine on. Gasper can stay on. Electric fans, upper and lower on. Liquid cooling on. So that's good. That panel is pretty much complete. It's all about just double checking as well. Normally, when you get an aircraft just landed, you'll get it off another flight. So say if I was a pilot and I was flying to like Los Angeles, I was flying to Los Angeles from Abu Dhabi. That plane would have probably, I'm assuming, just come back from Los Angeles. So it would be in a less of a cold and dark state. It would have been just in a shutdown state where normally everything's booted up, so it's ready to go. I just wanted to keep it in the cold and dark position just to show you really what it's like. Okay, so we can get rid of the caution message. We'll just assume that this plane hasn't been flying for very long. So we'll just get rid of. We'll just assume that's why it's in the contact position. We can turn the both VORs on. It should come up ADV on the VOR2 as well. Yep. So as you can see, the VORs are properly booted on now. The what else have we got over on the upper overhead panel? We have the engine ECC mode on, left engine, right engine on, off start on, left norm, right norm, yeah. Okay. So what we can do is we can actually align the navigation system now, called the ADA, obviously. We can just make sure that the nav data is correct normally at the start of the flight. So we have the model 777-300er.2, which is obviously the ER version. That's good, that's correct. We have AirAC 1908, correct. G90-115 Bravo Lima 1 engines are correct, rated at 115,000 pounds of thrust. July 18th to August 15th, 19 active. The date is the 5th today, so we do not need to update any nav data. No nav data is dated now, so it's good. It is good. We're at Oscar Mike Alpha Alpha today, which is our reference airport. We also have a gate. What gate are we at? We're at 309 today, aren't we? Yeah. 309. So we'll just confirm that that was our last. Normally with the last position it will come up the same as your gate, so North 24, 25.8, 25.8, East 54, East 54, 38.7, 38.7. So what we can do there is we can just set that initial, and as you can see now it's sort of made a difference to the navigation display, as you just been able to see there. Yep, okie dokie. So I'm just making sure it's properly aligned and stuff. We have Oscar Mike Alpha Alpha, Foxtrot Sierra India Alpha. We're going to be using a company route today, so pretty easy. All we have to do is literally request it and it will literally pop up for us. There we go, route requesting. We can also request catering service as well. This is the best thing about like simulation, is where you can actually request like cooking vehicles to come and bring food onto your aircraft. It's just how they can make that to make it more realistic. It's just amazing. Anyway, we can load that route uplink, so we know that that's loading now. We can just make sure, because it was in the cold and damp position, I need to make sure everything's right. So the alternate gear is in the normal position, the gear's down, the ground proximity systems are all good. With the routes loaded now, so what we can do now is do the oxygen testing, and then we'll go back to the FMC. So this is the captain's oxygen mask. So depending on what oxygen mask the aircraft uses, normally most of these modern oxygen masks uses ATC microphones built in to the oxygen mask. So normally you would go to the it's going to be like a weird spin, it's going to make you dizzy, that spin, but normally you would fiddle around with one of these buttons to make sure that the mic and the oxygen mask is working. But this one, it seems to just be one where you put it over your mouth and then you put the mic over your head, just like normal. You use your normal mic. But yeah, normally these modern ones have got like mics built in and stuff. Okay, so we can just make sure that that's tested, and 100% the yellow mark comes up there just to indicate that it is working. So yeah, we can test oxygen mask on the FO side on the right. Yeah, that's good. So now we know that the oxygen masks are working, and we do not have any observers today, but you know, we'll still turn on the oxygen for the observer 1 and 2. So they are both working. The catering vehicles should be here any minute now. Oh, here they are. Emirates is catering. Emirates are actually catering us up. As you can see, look at that. So now we're going to be catered up by a rival airline. Amazing. So what we can do is we can go to the ECAM. I always call it an ECAM. We can go to the lower display unit, and we can have a look at which doors are open. So we got entry 2 left. I think entry 2 right needs to be open, entry 5 as well. I'm so used to flying the LR, so it's normally just entry. I think it's normally entry 1 and entry 4. It's entry 2, entry 5 today. Yeah. So the doors should be open now, which they are, and this little Gary there just stocking us up. Yeah. This bit is always a bit boring setting up for simmers, like for non-simmers. Like obviously, if you're watching this and you're a non-simmer, this bit is pretty boring. You want to see like the takeoff and stuff, which will happen very, very shortly. We are expecting to depart early today, actually. Hopefully, if we can get all these passengers on board today. We've not even requested boarding yet. They're just sat in that. See, the scenery is not that good normally with the normal amazing scenery. I mean, it is a good scenery, don't get me wrong, but normally with more improved scenery now that they have, like, you'd be able to see the people at the terminal and stuff, where I'm holding my little cursor there. You'd be able to see, you know, people in the terminal and stuff, so it's not modelled on this scenery, which is quite a shame. Okie dokie, so we can put in our, we can actually make this pop out, unrealistic but cool. What we can do now is we can put in our flight number, which is Etihad 622 today. We have runway, I think it's 31 right, but we're going to use 31 left today, depending on what the NOTAMs are. I just need to check the NOTAMs. I think we might have to change it though. Let me just check on my sim brief. Go to the NOTAMs, and it says taxiway echo between echo to closed due to work in progress. So we'll just have a look if that affects us. I think it's going to, you know. So I'm not on the actual sim at the moment. I'm on Navigraph. Just having a look. So it says Echo 2 is closed. So that's 13, right? It says Echo. So that's not going to affect us, I don't think. Yeah, taxiway Echo 4 south. Yeah, I'm just having a look at the NOTAMs. So just 1 second. Taxiway 31 left, closed between 22. Every Monday, following day. So it's reopened now. Yeah, it's reopened. Yeah, so I think the runway's reopened now. So yeah, let's put in 31 left. What does that say? We need to close the doors. Have they catered already? They have catered already. So let's just make sure they're closed. Normally, this green thing means armed. Like the doors are armed now. Which they all are, as you can see. Entry 1, entry 2 right, and entry 5 right armed, so we know that's good. We can put in runway 31 left. We can put in runway 31 left. Yeah, that's just. I can just chill there. Oh, it's going weird again. I think it's going weird. Sometimes it does that. I can't get rid of that. If anyone knows how to do that, just let me know, because I do not know how to get rid of it when it goes all weird sometimes. Routing and inputs. Right, so what we're going to do now is going to double check the route with the route that I've got on my sim brief, which is on a nice flight planner. So we'll just make sure this is all correct information, because we don't want to be, you know, we don't want to, for example, have a route here that we know that we're flying, and then we're telling the computer a totally different thing, like we're not flying this route, the computer's going a totally different route. We don't want that. So yeah, Canip, November 318, yep, that's correct, that is correct, that's correct with mine, yep, and this is all correct info. What we can do is we can go departure, 31 left, Canip P uniform, yeah, so we can also do the arrival, runway 13 on the uniform Tango Alpha Lima India 1 Delta arrival. We need to do runway, one of them's an RMP, so let me just cross check that. I'm just putting it in. We're doing a RNAV approach today into into Seychelles. It's going to be a really difficult approach because normally it gets really windy, like it gets really windy all the time, so we're just going to have to stay vigilant, you know, on approach as well. So it can cause, you know, like go rounds and stuff like that. So yeah, and let me just have a look. Arnav. Yeah, there's going to be an Arnav on X-ray today, so let me just. No, we do not want that transition, so. Don't know why I just did that. There it is, 1 delta. I do not want that Frocky, so we'll just get rid of that. We'll just activate it. But let's just see what it looks like in the plan. If it looks good, then we'll just keep it at that. We just need to make sure that it's all correct before we can report the route back to the company. Yeah, we don't want to be cocking this up. So yeah. So this is how we can check the plan coming into Seychelles. What we can do is we can literally just do this. I think we're just gonna get rid of we'll just get rid of Frocky actually. Get rid of that, and we'll use this there and then that like that, and this should all connect up now and be good. Hang on, this is where the plan. This is where you need to be sort of plan it before you actually get into the air, because you know you don't want to be coming in and your routing's all messed up for your flight plan. So yeah, what I can do is get rid of what's the Arnav. Let's have a look. We've got to come in via Melon, so we need to get rid of it's going to be Melon, and then let's just see if that looks right. That looks much more easier to read there. So yeah, that's correct now. This is all correct. This is the route coming in. So we join Malin Natalie. So yeah, cool. That's all correct information now. So what we can do is we'll just go back to the map and we'll have a look. We'll have a look at the Canic 2 uniform departure, which is literally runway 31 left is. I think runway 31 left is there, yeah. Yeah, so you got 3-1. Got mixed up with my coordinations there. 3-1 left is literally there, so we're gonna have to taxi all the way down. It's 3-1 left. Yeah, okay. That's good. So we're gonna be going out to, I think you go face out to sea tonight. So we'll go over the Persian Gulf, and then we'll go like make a quite a steep turn towards Oman then, Muscat, and Muscat the city. So yeah. Initial climb clearance is 5,000 feet today, so we can just set that. We can also set the fuel tanks. So this is how much fuel we need. Today we're actually tankering fuel. As much as it says no tankering recommended, I've not been recommended to tanker any fuel. We have because of where Seychelles is, there's not many airports that we can put a 777 down in. So we've got Somalia, we've got Yemen, with all very quite short runways, more regional routes are used there. So we've got enough fuel to actually get to Seychelles and actually turn back and go back to Abu Dhabi. So that's a sort of a positive thing. So yeah, 65.4 tons we'll need today. I know it's really high, but you know, it's gonna stay high, and we'll just check that 2.8 and then 31.3 in each left and right time. So we're gonna use that 2.8 tons really quick. So we're gonna get that message probably almost straight away in the air that our fuel tank's low. So yeah, we'll just keep aware of that. That's going to be the case. Payload. What is the payload? The payload today is 200 and zero fuel weight is 210.5. So what we can do now is we can 210. 210.5. So just cross check that. Yeah. So it's getting a little bit dark now, a little bit dimmer. Yeah. The brake source is 2.2 thousand psi, which is interesting. Again, it happened to me like the other day, and I've not seen the brake source anything below 3,000 psi before, so that's really interesting. I don't know whether anything's wrong with that brake source, but it seems pretty good. It seems in the correct position, so yeah. Oscar Mike Alpha meter. So I think at the moment United Arab Emirates, I don't know whether it's seasonal, but they seem to be in quite a low pressure cycle at the moment. So they're in really good weather, 29.35. It's always good weather. It's never really interesting here at Abu Dhabi. So we've got 90904. So I think we're in a low pressure cycle. We can look at air. So we've got the master 24 degrees, and all of it is at 24 degrees. A, B, C, D, E, F. All the sections of the cabin are all at the correct temperature, so that's good. Hydraulics. So it's all the SLV valves are open isolations. They're all in green. Green. The philosophy of Boeing and Airbus are pretty simple. Green, the Y's mean okay, they're good. 0.98, 0.05, 0.97. It should be normally in the 0.9 region when you're using the hydraulic fluid should normally be in that 0.9 region, which is good. Okie dokie. What we can do is, because we've aligned the navigation system, we can actually test the TCAS. So we'll just do that right now. Should say TCAS test pass.
TCAS test pass.
Yeah, so now the TCAS test passed is positive, which is all good. We can go on to the performance initialization. Okay, so we can. It'll always give you normally like a random sort of cruise altitude, random cost index. It'll sort of try and guess, to be honest, but it's normally really inaccurate. Okay, so our cost index is quite low today. We have a cruising altitude. It's normally quite low. It's quite low today actually, which is really interesting. 330, cruising altitude, and then we'll climb flight level 340 and then flight level 350 towards the 210.5 today, which is correct. Our reserves. What is our reserves? Our reserves today are 3.1. We have a RVSM step size 0, keep on 0, minimum fuel temp of minus 37 degrees, cruise center of gravity 7.5. So what we can do now is we can literally go to put in Oscar Mike Alpha Alpha 31 right, and yeah, let me just do that 1 second. Alright guys, so what we can do now is we've got a heading of 360 degrees. What we can do is we can look at the heading for OMAA 31, I think it's 31 left, yep. It will be 307 degrees today. 307. Confirm that is correct, that is right. It's really long runway today, 4,100 meters, and the width is what is the width? 45 meters. So we've still not got good enough turning radius to turn this 777. So it's still not good enough. We need, I think it's a 52 meter width to actually turn the whole 777. So it's still, normally at the American airports they do have very big width and quite long length, but normally in most long runways are in the Middle East because of the hot weather. So yeah, on which side? Eating McDonald's chips. Okay, so we can now request boarding. And they'll ask me, how many passengers do you want to board? I want to board 412. So I'm going to mute the mic now, and I'll come back to you when we are basically ready to go. Okay, we are now back from that. I just had to do something while I was boarding the passengers. I had a bit of time. Okie dokie. Okay, so we're gonna do what's just a bit of a quick walk around of the 777. You will get to see the great detail that this livery person or livery painter has gone into with this beautiful Etihad livery. It's amazing. Okie dokie. He's gone into great detail with this. It's absolutely phenomenal. Look at that. I mean, look at that badge. Looks amazing. Okay, so this was an old livery, as you can see. It says the Formula 1 2015 Etihad Dhabi Grand Prix. Yeah, so we're gonna normally we check for cuts and snags on the triple bogey tyres. That's 14 tyres to 777. We'll check for cuts and snags, which I do not see. The outflow valves are open, which is to do with the pressurization unit. This is pressurization panel unit, whatever. What else? We're looking for fan blade snags. So obviously, looking at the fan blades, there's no snags here that I can see. On each side, we've got the we've got the beautiful G90 fans. Yeah, there's the pitot tubes look good, ice detectors look good. I can see. I know it's quite a distance, but yeah. If it was real life, you'd be obviously up close. Static ports look good on this side, on the right side, and then the APU is running. We can just confirm that because the APU thing's up there. It's open, which means it's running. All the VHF radio panel, all the VHF radio signal antennas all look good. Tail strike indicator is looks good as well. Looks all intact. The whole aircraft looks intact pretty much. It's an older aircraft, but you know, it is very trustworthy. We can now close. They've said that the baggage is done, so we can now close that baggage. The walk around is pretty much complete, even though it's quite short. The sun is starting to set, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the lighting a little bit on the aircraft. Just set the captain's side as well. We'll be sat in the first officer's seat, by the way, today. Oh Jesus, spilt some Lucasade on my top. We can also test the heading reference. We can go onto true heading. This magnetic that's working. Okay, so transition altitude 13,000 here at Abu Dhabi. Main battery volts 27 amps, one charge. APU, so this looks pretty much correct. This bit here with the electrical panel. What else can we do? We can do the ultimate, which is OMAA. You can do the takeoff gross weight, which is expected to be today 275,600, 275.6. 235.6, which is our estimated takeoff weight today. We have literally boarded now like 3/4 of the passengers. So hopefully we'll be in the skies in the next 10 to 20 minutes. Winds are out at 290 at 14 knots, so they're quite It's quite heavy for Abu Dhabi today. 14 knots. It's normally really calm. 37 degrees, so it's gone down 1 degree. The slope at Abu Dhabi is 0.0, perfect. We're going to do 3000, we're doing NADP, I think it's NADP1 too. We're going to do thrust reduction at 3000 anyway, just to avoid any local residents getting annoyed by the noise. Also, we've got Yas Island and stuff, so we have to keep it sort of minimal sound. You can also do the RTE data, we can load that in. Wind data, just confirm it's all plugged in, yep. We can do the fixed page, which is for the ETOPS. While we're doing that, we can just set this as airport. Set that as airport, have airport, you can have weather. So the captain, this is what the captain's got in his navigation display, ND. You can have the data as well. Has he got that? Yeah. So he's got the data, he's got the weather and traffic as well on the airport. I will have terrain on my side because I'll be the pilot flying, and it's more likely that terrain's going to show up today. It's going to be more of an issue than weather, because there's literally no weather about. Where just over them between Muscat and Emirates, there's quite some high mountains, so that's classed as more of a threat than weather today, because weather's just absolutely minimal. We can have TCAS on. We can also have airport switched on. So there we go, we can lift the yoke up. It feels okay on my controls here. As you can see, moving it feels pretty good. Sounds a bit weird, but yeah. We can also turn VHF1 on now. And VHF1 on this side as well. Okay, so fixed page. ETOPS. ETOPS is Oscar Yankee Alpha Alpha first. So the good thing about the 777, may I say, is on this fixed page, what it does is that I'm generating ETOPS circles now. So I'm actually making them from the distance on my flight plan, and my flight planner. So it's giving me a distance 617, and it'll draw the actual, hang on, /617. Need to draw it. Oh yeah, there we go. It will draw the ETOPS circles, so I don't have to calculate them through position reference and stuff. Okay, so we have FSIA 440, so now it'll generate these beautiful ETOPS circles. Let's say we're a bit flight of 330 now. We actually need to program plug in the step climbs, don't we? Did we already do that? No, we didn't. Okay, so we wait from HIA 350. Sorry, correction, 340 step climb. So there we go, S. And then we've got 350 just below the just after descent, 350 S just before descent. So that is very close to descent. Actually about 20 minutes and then we'll descend. Okay. Looks all good to me. This takeoff, so we can actually get the takeoff calculator out now. And just have a look. Just make sure that's correct. 300.2, yeah. So that's automatically filled out because I filled out that one as well, so it's just a duplicate, obviously. What I want to do in this channel as well, I want to, oh that's my baggage handling complete. What I want to do is I want to find that in between like making in-depth. That's why I keep putting these like sort of little things in there that just to explain it to people that don't do simming. So like for example, when I was explaining the you know, what the baggage handling does, like what what very simple things are that we know as simmers, but people might not understand from an outside perspective what we're talking about. So I want to find that in between, so people don't understand me about the in-depth. I'm going to go quite in-depth with certain things, but sort of make it quite easy for people to understand. I want to find that in between, because I've noticed on other flight sim channels, most of them are awesome. Most of them are awesome flight sim channels, but some of them are really in-depth, and then some of them are too simple. So I just want to find that in between, where you can just come on for simple or in-depth, and just make it that in between. So make it really good. What we can do now is it'll go to a black screen because I'm just auto saving, because I do not want this to die on me. It's one of my first streams and I don't want this to crash. Okay, what we can do is we can load in Topper, which is my you won't be able to see this, it's a takeoff calculator. Yeah, so I've loaded that in now. Airport Echo, I think it's sorry, I keep playing Echo Golf Charlie Charlie, it's my local airport, Manchester Airport. 3-1 left, flaps, I don't know whether to do flaps 15 takeoff 1, yeah, I'm going to do that. AC on, aircraft anti-ice off, dry, winds, what did I say the winds were at, 290, 14 knots. Oh god. 290, 14. OAT today is a very cold 37 degrees. QNH 999F4. And the takeoff weight is, what did I say that was? I'm literally, guys, just filling, you won't be able to see it, but I'm just filling out the takeoff calculator. The separate one. I don't do the reference speeds. I just use a proper takeoff calculator. 275,600. 275,600. 275,600. Confirm that. So now it's given me some very simple V speeds today. 160. So normally the reference speeds will look a bit similar, but you know, we'll use center of gravity 28%. This is all correct information. We can do cell temp is 70, so 84.8 N1, so it'll be 161, 162, 163. So as you can see, very similar. We're using takeoff power. We're using takeoff power 1 today. Thrust reduction to climb 2, because obviously we're quite light considering we are a 777. We can set 162. The V speeds are alive on each side, so we can do now 16. That says 161. Yeah, that's correct. We'll turn the flight directors on now. So there you go, the flight directors have just popped up. We have been, the baggage handling has been complete, so the doors are just open for literally no reason at the moment. And we'll request departure at ATC clearance, and then we can literally leave this Abu Dhabi airport very late, nearly 18 minutes late, which is just outrage, to be honest. Okie dokie. Just make sure everything's filled out. Navigation radio is good. We need to brief ourselves on the departure, and then I think we're pretty much ready to leave. We'll do the departure briefing. What we can do is go to vPilot, because I'm actually doing Vatsim now, so let me just turn Vatsim on now. so I've just loaded in vPilot now, which is the to turn on to Vatsim. So I'm just going to turn it on. Call sign today is Etihad 622, Boeing 777, and yeah. Use Oscar Mike Alpha Alpha FSIA 33,000. LNAV VNAV is switched on now. Yep. So the flight plan now has been filed, guys. So what we can do is we can do the departure briefing and then push back for runway 31 left, which I'm just going to check on flight radar 24 that is the runway news. So let me just double check that. My internet is being really slow at the moment. Back to 31 left, yep, which is good. So we can look at the NOTAMs one more time just to confirm everything. Company NOTAM, subject to auto cost indexing. Please pay special attention. We don't want pounds, we want kilograms, which is correct. Crew bulletin is nil. Just the NOTAMs, we have taxiway Echo between Papa Foxtrot Alpha and taxiway Echo 2 closed due to work in progress. So if that means if we if you can actually access these charts through Navigraph or through just the internet, really, to be honest. So if you want to have a look at the same time, that'd be pretty cool. All you have to put in is Oscar Mike Alpha Alpha charts. As you can see, Echo 2 between Echo 3, did he say it's closed? Yeah, between Echo 2, yeah, is closed. So that means potentially if we had to vacate, we're really hoping that the engine failure happens before passing Echo 6, because we won't have enough stopping distance. We'd have to do turn on to Delta 2 instead of Echo 2. Alright, so what we can do is we've got taxiway push back, shell face, aircraft pushing back from stands 309, yeah, we don't need that. Taxiway between Echo 15 closed. This is all good. Yeah, okay. So the NOTAMs have been read, and I totally understand what's going on. Now at the moment at the airport, what's closed, what's not, and to be honest, at Abu Dhabi there's never really a lot of NOTAMs where like loads of things are closed. It's normally just very minimal and just it's all working, everything's sort of in use at Abu Dhabi, which is a good thing, I suppose. They're trying to build that terminal over there, which you can see just here is going to be in sort of another section of Abu Dhabi airport. It's really good at the moment. That's in construction over there. So what we're going to see, you will see the Palm Jumeirah today. You'll see the Palm Jebel Ali. I think it's Palm. Is it Jebel Ali? Is that what they call it? Yeah. Palm Jebel Ali, and we'll see some other things as well. Also, we need to make sure these speed constraints are correct and altitude constraints. We need to make sure these are correct. So what we can do is I've got my charts here. So the Canic 2 auto 5,000, yep, that's correct. 230 knots, 7,500, correct. Yep, 9,000 below, and then 250 it should be 12,015. The minimum sector and altitude today will be 1,800 coming out, and then it'll be 2,000 for the rest. So if we had we'd hold at one of these waypoints, we'd receive further 86 points if we had in the unlikely event of an engine failure, and then we would have to, if we had an engine failure past B1, obviously take off, hold, and come into land runway 31 left. So just to verify that's all, we've sort of planned for the engine, planned for the worst, as normally all pilots do. We can clean the take thing now. Alright, so 162 is a, yeah. So that is incorrect, it's 162, 162 in it. Yeah, there we go. So it's 162, 162. They're the same. Alright, we can may as well turn the logo on now. We can just test all the lights are working. They seem to be all working. We can also test that see if the fire equipment's there, because this is not very important. We just need to make sure that the cockpit's totally got the equipment that it's required to have. So we have the fire extinguisher and the axe. And also we have all the latches seem closed. What we also need to do is we can turn the camera lights on as well. On the upper overhead, we need to make sure all these maintenance panels are closed. Normally these are all closed, unless if one of them was open and you were a pilot, you need to know why that was open, because these are normally open by maintenance. So. But the tech logbook was good, so it's not had maintenance in a while, this aircraft, so yeah. We could just make sure none of these circuit breakers are popped. We can go back to the lower overhead panel and we can just make sure, do a fire test, so that APU and thingy fire is showing, that's good. The engine one's showing, that's perfect. We should have done that really before the flight, but yeah. Because the emergency escape rope beam mic headsets on. Yeah, that's both on as well. All latches are closed. We are pretty much ready for departure. Yeah. Let me just write down. We'll just, because ATC is not online at the moment, we can just write down sort of a fake SWAT code. So we'll just say 2112. I'm just trying to grab my pen there. Okay, so we're cleared on mechanic to uniform 31 left. To uniform, runway 31 left. Squat 2112. QNH 999F1. We'd read back, which is all good. Yes, we can also make sure that the departure. Okay. So we can shut this door now. I am in contact with ATC, so it would be 2112. Don't know why on earth that's just happened to me. Alright, we are pretty much ready for departure. Just get rid of that. Alright, so we can request pushback clearance, and we want to face here at gate 309, so terminal 3. Should be terminal 4 really, but yeah. Gate 4, sorry. 409. We need to push back, and we need to face north, yeah. How do we face north? Yeah, we need to face south actually, tell a lie. So we need our aircraft to the left side. So we can make sure all doors are armed and cross-checked. Just make sure all the gear pressures are good. Yep, all the tyre pressure's good. Doors all armed and cross-check, push back. Oh, it just says straight, it's only giving us that option. So what we're going to do now, we're going to do something a bit different. What we're actually going to do is start an engine while we're sat here on stand. So we're a bit earlier. Just knock a couple of minutes off.
Good day, Captain. Taps connecting now, so we'll be pushing back in just a couple of minutes. Confirm parking brake is set, please.
Parking brake is set. Yep, that's confirmed. Just make sure the stabilizer trim is all correct. Have that on TA. Says remove wheel chocks, so what we'll do is we'll listen to his command and remove the wheel chocks.
Locking the gear now.
Locking the gear. Oh god, nearly dropped my drink. What we can do is we can do the off block time, and it says we need to start engines before that we taxi, so what we can do is we can indicate, we can get rid of the jetway actually as well. That jetway should just pull off us now. We have to wait for the jetway to move and we can go to the engine display, which needs to show up. Engine display please, show up, show up, show up. Oil quantity, engine oil quantity is good on each side. 26, yep. 25, does that say both? Yeah, they're both on 26. The auto start needs to be on. ECC mode are both on off. Can just make that out there, that's on off. Okay, so we turn on all the forward fuel pumps, and we now can start the engine. Indicate that we're starting the engine, starting right engine. There we go. We're starting them on stand just to kill, knock off a couple of minutes. See, we've got that indication, fuel low center already, we've not even took up. So the engines are now spooling up. Well, N1's spooling up anyway. N2 is already at its peak, pretty much. We have oil pressure is 14, oil temp 37, quad-enable got vibration, which is positive. I did not turn the fuel control on. That is why we're not getting enough M1. There we go. It's on. It's on. Not to worry. We should now see them beautiful engines spooling up. I've announced the pushback now, so we should start pushing us back at any moment then.
Target in position and bypass pin is inserted. Ready to push. Apron now clear. Release parking brakes.
Parking brakes released.
Pushing now. All clear for engine start.
We are now clear for engine start. Thank you very much. We can have 495 exhaust gas temperature, which is, it normally goes high to like 500 and then it'll sort of come down as the engine goes to stationary. So we've got a positive engine start on the right. We'll now start boot the left one up, so the M2 should be rising. We've got a nice seal flow in the right engine as well, which is good. We can whack the left fuel control on as well now. We've got oil pressure, oil temp is stationary. We've got a bit of vibration going on. Let's see, I forgot to check if these are all good, the nav data and stuff, the air data, display control and air data and stuff, they're all stationary, that's good. We've got N1 good. Watch this now, you'll see the exhaust gas temperature rise and then it'll start slowly coming down then as this becomes stationary. There you go. So we now have positive yeah, the beacon is on. We have positive start. What we can do now is pressurize the aircraft. We can.
Pushback complete. Set parking brakes and confirm.
The parking brake is set. Position set, parking brake set. With positive and one now. The set flaps 15. Oh, we've set flaps 20 now, flaps 15. 15 degrees of flaps, and we can now set. The off block time was 14:44. So just make a note of that. Bypass pin is removed. So we want to be going over there to the left. Echo 9. Alright, so the engines are spilled up, the APU is running, so what I did, turn the APU off. Flight controls, full up, sorry, full left.
Clear left and right. Disconnecting now. Have a good flight, bye bye.
Yep, full right. Correction, full right. Full up. Full down. Neutral. Left. Right. Neutral. Flight control mode normal, and with trim is 650 to 5. Stabilizer trim set, and we can now do the before. We didn't even do the before start checklist, but that's because we're on stand. So the before start checklist is pretty much complete. Yep. Yep. We had that. 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 Yep. Right at door. MCP21623075000 set. So what we can do now is the before taxi checklist. Anti-ice all on auto. Yep. Recall is set. Recall is good. We have anti-ice recall, flight controls, ground equipment, left's clear, and the right's clear. So we can take it off flight mode now. So now we're no longer in contact with the ground. We need to be very vigilant. Okay. Now it will be, I have control. Okay, so we can turn on the taxi light, and the runway turn off lights as well. Okay. Engines display. And begin the turn now. Oh, there's a big red barrier there, we don't want to hit our wing with that. Cabin ready is, we do have like a 62 meter wingspan, so 63 meter wingspan, so yeah, it's quite high. So we've just got the taxi clearance. We're taxied. We're gonna come out at Echo 9 here. Is Echo 9? Yeah, Echo 9, and then we're gonna taxi via Echo all the way to Echo 15. So just down there, pretty much. I know where we're going now. It's all good. Come on, move. It's hard. We're not heavy, but we're not like light. So we've got that in between. I always sort of misread how much misunderstand how much thrust I need. I always get too much and then too less. So it's really hard. So when you're heavy, you sort of know like what thrust to use when you're taxiing, and when you're light, you sort of know what thrust to use. But in the middle, I just can't seem to crack it. So we're just going to taxi now. There's Abu Dhabi control tower just ahead of us, if you can see that. I'm going to taxi on this. I sort of know how to taxi this 777 without the camera use. So yeah. We're now on taxiway Echo now, following it all the way down this 4,000 meter runway. Beautiful views of Abu Dhabi airport. I think that's terminal. That's just. Yeah, I think that's terminal 2. I'm not too sure. And there's terminal 3 off to our right there. Just around here, there's terminal 3. And terminal. I think that's 2 just there. When I was in it here real life, there was a lot of A330s parts of Terminal 2, so it must be like the Nairobi flights, because I know that's where you use most Africa routes, you use the A330. 15 knots. Taxiing speed. We need to taxi quite fast because it's pretty much clear. What we can do now is just turn on confirm TARA. So the winds are at 290, so we've got westerly winds. Yeah, westerly winds coming out. .20 knots. Taxiing quite fast, so we don't want to make any sharp movements. Flap screen 15 checked. Look at that. It's not on centre line. It's a bit too left there. Absolutely stunning view there. So we did get the cabin ready signal, so seems like they're ready. We can turn the strobes on. Get pretty much prepared for takeoff. And it's cleared today, it's not busy. The threats are nil today. We've just got westerly winds, well, northwest winds. Probably turns more easily as we climb. There's fire services. We're nearly at the end of the what I can do now is turn the landing lights on. Everybody is happy, so we can literally line up and wait. Etihad, we'll just say Etihad 622, line up and wait. So now we're cleared to line up and wait. We're holding Echo 16, yeah. Echo 16, we're lining up and wait. On runway 31 left for departure. The first takeoff of this channel on a Boeing 777 Etihad. What we can do now is make a nice little turn. We sort of want to be taxiing at 10 knots, but considering it's 12 and we don't want to make any sharp movements, like braking for example, we'll just keep it at 12. Sort of loose, you know, because I've got the thrust levers at idle, so it's just going down. I'm gonna line up now. All the lights are on, TAR rate, correct.
Approaching. 3, 1.
Verified. Approach the runway.
On runway. 3, 1.
I have control. Looking down the runway, no slope. As you can see, the sun is going down. We're now clear for takeoff. Etihad 622. The radio comms is all good and dandy. Captain's in contact with him. 161, 162, 162, and the thrust reference is set. We also need to. We're just rolling down the runway here. We sort of need to use all the runway. So, can it put to uniform? Okay, thrust ref 84.8 of N1. Alright, the airspeed is alive. Hopefully we can generate enough lift. I always use the whole of these. I'm so nervous literally because I always mess with the takeoff calculations and I want to use the whole of the runway. Okay, so we got the first hole, passing 80 knots. Keep that center line. 130. 150. Rotate. There we go, we are now in the air. Positive rate, gear up. There we go. We want a higher climb gradient than this. So it says we're at 150 knots, we should be climbing about 750, but we're climbing. 7 is said we should be climbing around 750, but we're climbing 1,400. What we can do now is engage the autopilot, passing 1,000, LNAV checked, VNAV checked. Gear is up. We can turn the text light on. 5,000 is set. So the aircraft now is going to climb to 5,000 feet. We are now on our way to the Seychelles. I'm just checking the radar, make sure this is accurate. Yep, so we are now in the climb. We don't want to. Okay, so it's going up to flaps 5 now. The speed, so it wants us to go to flaps 5 shortly, which we will do now. Flaps 5. As you can see, off to our right hand side we have Yas Island and stuff, just around here. Flaps 1. And nearly at flaps up. It's going to climb us really slowly, and we're quite heavy as well. I literally feel quite heavy today because of what D-rate I've chosen and stuff. I feel really heavy. I feel like we're climbing really, really slowly. See a few clouds there. There wasn't many. There wasn't even any reported, to be honest. Speed. Alright, so we're at climb 2 now, verified. We can actually just put the flaps on there. 13,000 is our transition altitude, so that's when we're going to switch from to standard pressure. We are right near 4.3 nautical miles away from Optal. It's that at the moment, and then climb to 7,500 in a minute. We did not turn on the flight time, so we'll just +1 it. 50. We'll just call it 14:59:0. +2. Then. We'll just say we've been in the air for 2 minutes. So we can now climb to 7,500 feet. Just ref that. Right guys, I will now turn off the mic for a minute and let you watch the climb. Then I'll contact you when we're at our cruise.